Hillary Clinton was asked by Christiane Amanpour if she supports Trump's attack on the Syrian government. Let's see what she had to say.
Did the Syria strike work?
Well, I think it's too soon to really
Did you
tell.
support it?
Yes, I did support it. I didn't publicly support it because there was, that wasn't my role, but I did support it. But I am not convinced that it really made much of a difference, and I don't know what kind of potentially, backroom deals were made with the Russians. I mean, we later learned that the Russians and the Syrians moved jets off the runway, that the Russians may have been given a heads up even before our own Congress was. So I think there's a lot that we don't really yet fully know about what was part of that strike. And if all it was a one-off effort, it's not going to have much of a lasting effect.
So the problem is they didn't bomb enough. You would like them to bomb more. You don't like that it was a one-off thing. You want them to keep going. It's like she's trying to be disliked. Like, she has a 35% approval rating right now, which is tied with Donald Trump. It's like she's raising her hand and going, can you please like me less? Is there anything I could do to piss you guys off more, meaning the American people? Could I piss off the American people more? There was a poll like a few weeks ago that found that if the election were a few weeks ago, she still would lose to Trump, and she would lose by an even bigger margin. How? I mean, this is just pathetic, man. Even if she thinks that, which she's being honest with how she feels, but if she really wanted to say something that was popular and represent the American people, which is, again, what the job of the president is supposed to be, like, I'm going to represent you, American people, she'd be like, yeah, you know what, it wasn't a good move. I used to support striking Syria, now I don't, and let me explain why. And you can go into detail about how, as bad as the Syrian government is, we shouldn't make the same mistake as we did in Iraq and Libya. She should know. She made those mistakes. The opposition is mostly jihadists and Islamists. It's Al-Qaeda and ISIS. Do we really want to have a power vacuum and then risk that they fill it? No, she can't do that. And then one of her main objections is, well, look, they tipped off the Russians about this. Hillary, if they didn't tip off the Russians about it, you know what would have happened, right? You would have struck Russian fighter jets and maybe killed some Russian troops. If you kill Russian troops, do you not understand that you just sparked World War III? So you're going to, go bomb them. So you bomb Syrian fighter jets, Russian fighter jets, because they're Russian jet. Russia is an ally of Syria, and they're both there fighting against a common enemy. So you want to bomb the base, don't tip off Russia. And then maybe you kill some Russians. Maybe you destroy Russian fighter jets. Are you that? Like, she's so nonchalant and just blasé about, maybe you attack another nuclear power. Maybe that's what we do. What is wrong with you, man? She doesn't learn a goddamn thing. And then also, the irony of, as she said before, I am the resistance. I'm leading the resistance. Anyway, I agree with Trump. I like his plan on Syria and being hawkish. Again, the problem, she said, is it wasn't hawkish enough. He should do, more attacks, a stronger attack. I can't get over that fundamental contradiction, too, where Hillary and all the other Democrats rightly point out, okay, come on, guys. We're talking about a thin-skinned, narcissistic, petty, impulsive man-child who shouldn't be trusted with nuclear weapons. That was one of her main arguments in the campaign. You really want him to be the one with the nuclear weapons? And that's a good point, I thought. That's a good point. He really is all those things. You can't say that and then in the next breath, he should do more bombing and more war. Ha! Because that's a contradiction. Like, yes, let the man-child blow more shit up. Bomb-child. Let the man-child bomb more shit. Man, she really is stuck in that DC establishment bubble and she can't get out. No matter how much. She got the ultimate slap in the face. She got freezing cold water poured right in her fucking face to try to wake her up. Like, people don't like you. They don't like the hawkishness. They don't like the Wall Street ties. They don't like your record. They don't like you. You're the ultimate status quo machine. And she comes out in one of her first public appearances since losing, and she just doubles down. Like, yeah, no, Syria bombing. Should have done even more Syria bombing. So, in other words, you're saying Trump, which is now the neocon presidency, because the neocons are controlling his foreign policy, increased in Afghanistan, increased in Iraq, increased in Syria, opened up a new front in Syria, obviously, 432% increase in drone strikes, escalating with Iran, escalating with North Korea. And now Hillary Clinton goes out there and says, yeah, awesome. The neocons are controlling Trump. Great. I would have listened to them too. And yes, she is thinking about running again. That's why she keeps showing up in public. She's got this new book and everything. So that's exactly what she's thinking. If she were to run again, she would get her ass handed to her in a way that might be legendary. It might be an ultimate fall off in how well you did the previous time versus how shitty you do the next time. So I hope you just stay out, man. Stay out. Because you're just reminding people of how much we dislike you and why we dislike you every time you show up in public. You don't actually fight for progressive values. You don't fight for a progressive foreign policy, a non-interventionist foreign policy. You don't fight for our positions when it comes to health care, Medicare for all. You don't fight for our positions when it comes to Wall Street re-regulating, prosecuting the criminals. You don't fight for us at all. You don't agree with the progressive base. So the fact that you feel so entitled, like, yeah, no, I'm going to take a position that's the opposite of what my base wants and shut the fuck up and vote for me. That's the core of the problem.